My name is Jack Sturla. I grew up here in Gilroy, California, where my family had been living since the 1870s. I was on the football team, the track team, and was ASB vice president at Gilroy High School. My entire family were farmers, and at that point I never would have guessed that I would one day be flying bomber planes in the largest war the world had ever known. The year was 1940. I had been going to college for a few years, but now I didn't have a job, and because of the Depression, me and my family were experiencing tough times. So that December I decided to up my number on the draft list and get my one-year draft requirement over with. During my interview with the draft board, I told them I wanted to be in the Armored Corps. I thought I could drive a tractor, and what the hell, a tank was right down my alley. However, I got assigned to a station hospital medical corps at Fort Ord. Then in December of 1941, World War II started. In April 1942, I reapplied to the Air Force. I had applied once before and had not made it in, but this time I did. Before starting in the Air Force, they sent me on a month leave back home. This was fortunate because I was able to visit with my dad, who had just had a heart attack. After pre-flight school at Santa Ana, I moved up to primary flying school, then basic flying school, and then advanced flying school. I graduated on February 6, 1943. And before I knew it, I was flying the coveted A-20 at Will Rogers Field, Oklahoma City. After completing training, orders came for overseas duty, so it was to the South Pacific and New Guinea. First station was at Port Moresby, followed by Dobadura, then Nadsat, and finally Hollandia. In New Guinea, I was assigned to fly co-pilot in B-17s, a heavy bomber plane. One mission that I remember flying was with the 63rd Bomb Squadron. We were flying over a Japanese airfield on a nighttime bomb raid, and we were caught in the light of a searchlight. It was so bright it looked as if it were broad daylight. We were jumped by a Japanese night fighter, but luckily the Japanese pilot was more scared of us and he broke away quickly. Later on, I was transferred to fly C-47s, cargo planes used to transfer troops, cargo, and wounded soldiers. Before long, I received a transfer to the 8th Attack Squadron, 3rd Attack Group. My proudest moment in my Air Force experience occurred when I was flying the A-20. It was late May, early June, or 1944. I was assigned to lead the 8th Attack Squadron in the one mission I was privileged to lead. Our mission was to complete an air raid on a Japanese radio station out 60 miles south of our base in New Guinea. The Japanese radio station could see most of what was happening at our base and was reporting whatever they could learn about troop and airplane movements. There were 12 planes in my squadron, and there were 2 squadrons assigned to this task. The first squadron missed the target and got lost, but my squadron was able to complete our mission and destroy our target. The fact that I was able to lead the 8th Attack Squadron, formed in World War I, was the greatest honor. After flying about 52 total combat missions in A-20s, plus 34 in C-47s, and 12 in B-17s, I had completed my overseas career as a pilot in the Air Force. After 2 stateside assignments, one at Laughlin Field, Texas, and one at Waco Army Airfield, I was discharged from the Air Force. After getting back out of the service, I tried to go back to college. It didn't work out. I stayed for about 2 weeks and decided to go back to being a farmer, which is what I wanted to do all along. I met my sweet wife of 60 years, and we got married and started a family. Looking back on my service in World War II, I realized the great good that came out of the war. My comrades and I are like brothers, and I hope the things we fought for will never be forgotten.